friends. Right, so following the August bead box where from Debbie Beads, where I made this macrame simple bracelet, I thought, well, people asked if we could do a macrame tutorial, so here I am doing a macrame tutorial. Really simple, very limited items that you'll need. You'll just need some beads of choice. I'm using 10mm pearl beads today. I made this one using 10mm silver beads. I didn't want to have to do the same colour again. Let's just bring you in a little bit so you can see. Just move that out the way. And it is absolutely gorgeous. It's 12 10mm beads all together. These are just pearls, glass pearls, 2 on the end, so it's 10 for the bracelet plus 2. We'll talk about sizing in a second, but you will see that this bracelet will fit most sizes. So it's sort of a one size fits all. Now I have just put lotion on my hands, so my hands are a little bit tacky. Pull the balls and it'll fit all sizes. And isn't it effective? Let me just widen you out a little bit. That might be in your face a wee bit too much. There we go. Now, isn't it effective? Fantastic for people who have metal allergies. This macrame, because of the closure, there's no metal. So for those tricky to gift for, or you know, you're doing craft fairs, whatever, these are fantastic. So there you go. So I'm going to take this back off again. Simple. All you do is pull on the little macrame clasp and off it comes. So more or less one size fits all. Isn't it pretty? It's really, really cute. I love it. I really, really love it. Anyway, so let's have a look at what we need then. So we need 12 10mm pearls all together for this design. You can use smaller pearls, but you will obviously have to add on more into your design, okay, to get the length. You will need some this is 2mm, I think it's 2mm cord. This is a nice cream colour to match my pearls. You will need a big eye needle. Now this just helps with putting the pearls onto your cord. If you don't have a big eye needle, then the simple thing would be to do is to put a good inch or so of nail varnish on your cording, and that will make your cording nice and stiff, and that way you can poke through the holes of your beads. Okay, so these come in hanks. Now they do get a little bit annoying, these hanks. When you undo them, they can sort of go everywhere and can be an absolute nightmare. I'm just going to widen you out a little bit more. There you go, you can see my desk, sorry about that. But the easiest way I find is putting them into a loop, holding the loop in your hand. Now sometimes these things will come undone straight away, but feeling that because it's kinked in anyway, you can't really use that end bit, I cut it off. I'm so frivolous, aren't I? Naughty me. And don't lose the ends, and you've got the ends. Now hold your skein and pull off the bottom. It does like to try and get a mess off, make a mess should I say, it ends up like spaghetti. Now I pull quite a bit off and then I measure after. and that way we don't get in a tangled mess. Okay, so, and then I lay that just to the side. Now, as for measuring, I like to have a minimum of 10 inches to use as our base row, which will hold our centre beads. Okay, so I like to use a minimum of 10 inches. Okay, so you can either use your Percy, hi Purse, haven't seen you for a while, or you can use a metal ruler or any other ruler that you may have at hand. Go and raid the kids' box, that's all I'm going to say. Right, so for my centre measure then, I'm going to ignore that kinky bit at the end and measure approximately 10, maybe 11 inches. That gives us plenty to play with. Okay, so that's our base cord measured. So that's to thread our beads onto, which I'll go through with you in a second. And then the next, the general rule of thumb is 3 times each side of your bracelet. So in other words, our base cord that holds our beads, in this case our pearls, I've measured at 11 inches. Okay, so 10 inches is 60 inches in total. Okay, so 30 inches to be used on the left side and 30 inches to be used on the right side. Now we don't cut our cords, we leave it as one full length. I know I said I've cut my base cord at 11 inches, it's just because I want to have a little bit more over because of the kinky bits, that's all. But I would normally use 10 inches for my base cord. Okay, so nobody I know has a 10-inch wrist, but you like to have a little bit over for putting a little bit of dainty on, extra beads on, just to pretty it up. Okay, so normally 10 inches for your base, 30 inches for your left side, 30 inches for your right side. It gives us a total of 60 inches. Okay, so I'm going to measure off 30 inches and then double it. So our Percy, just taking it to the 30 mark, which is there. Percy's done his job, so I go in Perce, and then just doubling that cord over, giving us a total of 30 inches. Cut, and we have our cords cut. Now I'm just going to tidy away my hank. So you can see I've pulled loads off, so I'm just going to wrap it back round. Twist it up a little bit to try and stop any knotting. Keeping it all together as best I can and putting it to the side. Right, so I'm just going to move those out the way a second, and I want to talk to you about what you're going to use to macrame on. Now you can either macrame on a mini board, and this is handy because it has your inches on, or you can macrame on a craft board. You can macrame on a box, anything that will allow you to do your knots. Now these macrame boards are fantastic if you're doing flat sort of knots, you just macrameing on. Now I did do this one on this board, going from using it this way, so I can see that I've got my sizings on the side here, 1 to 6 inches. Okay, and that will hold your bracelet perfectly. Okay, but it can get a little bit faffy when you're trying to get underneath your centre cording. So sometimes it may be easier to use a tray. Okay, so if I was just to put that inside to just stop the glare, so put my inside to stop the glare, and then you can put your cording on the top and on the bottom. And for how to secure it, you can either use a little ball clip or you can just use a little bit of tape, and that's what I'm going to do. Just a little bit of tape. Oh, get this bit off at the top and at the bottom. My tape's decided to curl up on me. There you are, I've done it now. And there you have a nice surface to widen you out a little bit so you can see. So then you've got a nice surface to macrame on. Just pull it nice and tight. Okay. Okay. So before we would do that, then we would want to put our beads on, wouldn't we? So I'm just going to slacken mine off. I'm just going to pull you in a wee bit so you can see. So I have my cord. Where's my big eye needle gone? It was here a second ago because I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Not to matter. This one, oh, I've got another one here. This one will do. It isn't the same one. This one's a bit longer, but it'll do the same job, won't it? So it doesn't matter. So these big eye needles then, they come in 2 lengths. So they come in a great big long one like this one, or they come in a shorter length, and it was a shorter length that I had, but it doesn't matter. So we open the big eye needle. Fantastic for loading beads on with. On it goes, and then we can start putting our beads on. So these pearls have reasonable size holes, and we can just pull it through. Okay, so we want 10 altogether on our base cord. Ooh. There's 3, let's get all these in, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, so let's get these threaded on. Ooh, chuck 'em. Do you know, sometimes you put on this moisturiser just to try and make your hands look a little bit more pleasant. As you get to my age, your hands go a bit more God, now I've got one that's stuck. Take it off, put another one on. Yeah, your hands get a little bit more wrinkly when you do it. Anybody think I was ancient? Yeah, as you get older, everything starts getting wrinkly, doesn't it? That sounded quite bad, didn't it? But never mind. Let's try this one on again now. Now it's the end one. No, it's not going on, just get another one. There we go. So taking our handy big eye needle off and putting our cord back on to whatever it is that we're using. Like I say, you can use all sorts of things. Trays, boxes, as long as it's nice and sturdy and you can get your hands around. Well, this, for some unknown reason, holding so tight. Maybe because of the tape I've used a couple of times. There you are. There we are. We're cooking on gas now. So, along comes our thread, our cord, whatever it is you're using. You can use the cotton cord as well, don't forget guys, if you haven't got the rat tail, then you can use cotton cord, and you can use whatever beads you like. Okay, nice summery one that was. And we need to find the middle of our cord. So putting the ends together, running our fingers down, and there we have the centre. Holding the centre, popping it under our centre cord, and we're going to tie some knots, some macrame knots. So remember this from back at school, I'm taking the left hand cord over the top of our centre cord, bringing our right hand cord, laying it over the top of our left, getting the end, going underneath, under the centre cord and pulling it up through the loop. Bringing those cords together, we have our first knot. Okay, I'm just going to do another one out on widescreen, then I'll bring you in a little bit closer. So we've done the left over right, now we're going to do the right over left. Okay, so taking our right cord, and this finishes off the knot, taking it over the top of the centre cord, so just over the top of the centre cord, getting our left hand cord, okay, bringing it over the top of our right, underneath our cords, through that loop that we've created on the right hand side, and pull the knot together. Right, I'm just going to bring you in now so I can show you what we have created. I might have to move this down a little bit as we go, as we get closer. There we go. And we have our first knot. And you can see, hopefully you can see, on this side we've got a little nodule. Where's my pointy thing? We've got a little nodule. Now this little nodule, all according to what side you've been tying your knots, will let you know which side to start with. So the little nodule is on the left hand side, so we always know that we need to start tying our knots from this side, from the left hand side. So if you need to go out to the door or go for a wee, then look at your work and you will see the little nodule, and that's the side that you need to start your first knot on. Okay, so let's have another little look then. I know this is a bit close up, but I want to show you. So our left hand cord comes over the top of our centre cord. Okay, our right hand cord comes over the top of our left, and then we're going to go under, through the loop, and pull. Okay, and now we can see that the little nodule is on the right hand side, so we know that we need to start on the right. Okay, so over the centre cord with our right, leaving a nice little loop, bringing our left into play to go over the top of our right, through, under the cords, through the loop, grabbing our loop and pulling tight. We have 2 macrame knots. and we need to do 5. We're going to do 5, and that will give us the start of our bracelet. Okay, so we've done 2, so we're going to go over. Some say it's like making a number 4, so if you look at the, we're going over the centre cord with our left, bringing the right over, so that saying that gives you the number 4. To me it doesn't look like much like a number 4, but there you go. Right, grabbing our right cord, going underneath our work, through the loop on the left, pulling our cords through and pulling up our knot. Again then, over with the right, coming under with the left, under we go, through the loop, last one then, I think it's the last one, last set of knots, can't remember how many I've done now. Just check on here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's right. Okay, so now we're going to bring up a bead, simple as that. Bring up our bead and we're going to do 2 knots. So over with the right, you might be a little bit close, I'm going to just bring you out a wee bit, and I'm not sure this cream thread was the right choice for do this video, but we'll see. It might have been better in black, but we'll see. So over with our left cord, our right cord comes over the top, under our working thread and through. Okay, over with our right, under with our left, through the loop and pull. So that's knot number 1 completed. Knot number 2 on its way. Pull that a little bit tighter. Did you do this when you were at school? Didn't do this when I was at school. Okay, so that's our knot completed. I didn't learn macrame till my later years in life. But hey, and this is all we're going to do now. 2 full knots, that's classed as half a knot. And over the other way, oh, over the other way is classed as a completed knot. So that's 1. Over with our left, under with our right, and to finish off our second knot, over with our right, under with our left, and we have our 2 knots, bringing up another pearl. It's quite a quick project to do this one, and like I say, it's really nice if you've got friends who would love to buy your jewellery, or you'd love to gift your jewellery. Don't forget we've got Christmas, the dreaded word Christmas, coming up, and maybe they can't wear metal, so this would be a lovely way of still letting them be included in your jewellery. And not only that, I think macrame is becoming fashionable again, isn't it? Macrame is making or macrame, however you want to pronounce it, is making a comeback, and I think it looks really elegant, especially like this, in for Christmas. Not that we're going to be going to many Christmas parties or anything, but if you imagine if you're wearing a beautiful black blouse, this would look beautiful, wouldn't it, next to a black blouse or a nice Christmas jumper. Just because we can't go out doesn't mean that we can't still have fun. So continuing then, I might speed this video up a little bit. You don't really want to see me tying knots, or do you? I don't know. What's the weather like where you are? Here in Cornwall, the wind's getting up, and when it rains, it rains. It absolutely comes down with a vengeance. And I'm just hoping, because I'm up in the bead studio, as I like to call it now, bead studio, get me. It's just an outbuilding, guys, at the top of the garden. I'm just trying to be posh. Up in my bead studio, up in the top garden. As you know, I've got a perspex roof, so whenever the rain comes, it sounds like I've got a party of seagulls on the top of there having a good time. And sometimes when it comes down really fast, I can't hear. I have to shout. So I'm hoping before it comes down again that I'll get this video done. And if I don't, then I'll have to pause and come back to you, won't I? So here we go, second part of our loop. I hope this video is quite clear for you and you can see what you're doing, or see what I'm doing. So just a little recap then. Over with our left, under with our right, pulling it through, making it nice and snug around that pearl, and then over with our right, underneath with our left. Feel like a sergeant, left, right, left, right, left, right. And our second, beginning our second knot now. But you can do as many knots as you like in between. You don't just have to do 2 if you don't want to. And here comes the rain. Can you hear it? There you go, see, now I'm going to have to start shouting. Oh lordy. I knew it was going to come. So what I might do then is, well, I'm just going to carry on and let you listen to the rain. The Cornish call it liquid sunshine. Well, it's not so bad when it's summer, when it's summer and it's been hot and you have a bit of a rain shower. It is quite cooling, isn't it? And the ground smells absolutely amazing. Oh, after a hot summer's day and then you have a bit of rain, the ground does smell amazing. There I go, I'm rambling again, aren't I? But still, ramble through the rain, Jane, ramble through the rain. Oh, it's stopping now. So there we go. Get a bit more done now. Hey, get a little bit more done. So how are you guys all coping with the pandemic? Or is everybody okay? Because I don't know about you, but I know I've been suffering a little bit with, my mental health really, in keeping myself sane. And I feel like I'm becoming a little bit more of a recluse than what I ever was. Don't really go out much, except for me detecting, as you know. Like, ooh, big news on me detecting. Not that you're on here to listen to me detecting, but I've only gone and got myself a little permission. After all this time, well, 3 years, never had my own permission. And now I've got myself a little permission. So, that's my big news. Oh, way up now. Got a bit excited seeing, couldn't work out where I was going. Anyway, that's that. So on to the last one then. So this one, remember, at the beginning we put 5 knots in, so at the end we're going to put 5 knots in. So half a knot and a full knot, that's 1, 2. And if you've never done this before, you do get quicker. You do get quicker at it. Just take your time in the beginning, get your tensions right, feel comfortable with it. It's not going to bite you, nothing bad's going to happen. You can soon undo it if you make a mistake. You can soon undo it and start again. It's not a problem. Stick with it. If I've gone too fast for you, just go back to the beginning of the video and watch the bits that will help you. So there we are, we've come to the end and we have got this cording over, but I'd rather have cording over than not enough. Now what I like to do is I like to loosen this last knot off a bit, and I'm going to put a bit of glue. You can either use glue or clear nail polish, and I'm just going to put some glue in this last little section on either side here, and I'm just going to get a little plastic bag, something to put your glue on with. I'm just using this little thing, but you can use a needle, cocktail stick, whatever you like. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this bag. I think I might need, anybody want to send me some more glue? This is the hyper cement. I'm just going to, if I can get it to come out, that is. Oh, here we go. It's not one thing, it's another. I think my glue's gone a bit hard, hasn't it? Not to worry. There we are. So we can get rid of that. And now it's all oozing out. Just stick my end back in. I have to clean that up. To leave that there a minute. It's all coming out everywhere. Right, so a bit of glue then into this section here and this section here. Got glue everywhere now. It didn't happen when I was making my other one, it's because I'm on camera. Just in the loop, guys, and it just then pull your thread up and that will set, and then we'll be able to cut these ends off and then mount them down. That'll soon be setting. Right, let me just, oh god, I've got glue everywhere now. I need a piece of paper, this bit of card. I am still here, I'm just concentrating on my glue. Just cut that end off my glue. There we are, now where's my end bit? There it is. I'll stick this little owl and just stick that in the hole. That's it, crisis averted. Crisis averted. So, because I will need the glue again in a second. I'm just going to widen you out then now. Widey, 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 widey. I hope this cream is really visible. I don't know whether it is or not. Never mind. Right. Take that glue off there. I'm all glued up now. Right, so let's take our bracelet off here. Okay. So this is what we have. Now I'm just going to pull so I've got more. Just going to push the bracelet down this end a bit so I've got even ends. Let's have a look. A bit more. Which way am I going now? Got glue all over me. I'm all sticking. So I need to come that way a little bit more. That'll do. So now I'm just going to cut these ends down because it's not going to affect how the glue's setting in there, but I just want to reuse, so I'm just going to chop these ends down a little bit. Okay, so we don't waste anything. See, one of these can be used as another base string for another bracelet. Okay, but I'm going to use one to make the closure. Okay, just going to use one to make the closure. So again, using this board or this tray, I'm going to use a corner because obviously you can't, you know, I'm not going to be able to get it from one side to the other, am I? So taking our cord like this, taping it to a corner just so we can use it, just some tape over the edges. Where's my other bit gone? See it. Or you can use a clip, whatever you like. Bit of cord over the edges. I'm just going to try and get myself in a position where you can see now. Move bits out of the way. Be the easiest way for you to see. Oh, I've just got glue all over me. Hang on, guys. I had a blodge of glue on the desk and I've just put my hand in it. Oh dear. You've got laugh, haven't you? You've got laugh. Now it's all over my hands, look. Oh, if nothing else, I'll give you entertainment value, don't I? Oh dear. I bet you'll think I'm mad. You won't be far off, actually. Right. Either that or you're laughing along with me. Let's just put this on a bit better. With a little bit of working space. See, that's why sometimes it's better to have more cord than not enough. Does that make sense? It's better to have a bit extra on your length of your bracelet that you can work with and then cut off after. Okay, so with our cord then, let's bring you in a little bit. Tape down on the corner of whatever you're using. Again, we need to find the centre, but we can, because we're on a short piece of rat tail or cotton, whatever you are using, we just need to put the cord on, pull it up with our fingers, and we can see quite clearly where the centre is. Okay, So exactly the same technique, only we're going over 2 cords now. Is left over right, right over left, under the cord, through and under the middle, and pull up, making sure they're the same. A bit more on this side, should be it. Okay, over with our right, under the cord, through the middle, and out through the loop. Just exactly the same as what we've been doing, but just over the 2, and obviously we're using a smaller cord. You could actually open your bracelet a bit further. So again, over the top, over the right hand cord, underneath, and through the loops. I'm not doing myself any favours by using this tiny little space. Don't be a Jane, okay? Don't be a Jane. Over the top, just I'm proving it can be done in a small space. Not making my life any easier though, am I? Just pull that other loop a bit tighter, that's it. You don't want your loops, your knots too tight, because of obviously being able to open and close. If you make your knots too tight, they're not going to run over your cords. Okay. Over the top, over your left cord, and under the centre cords. If you're not confident, you know, please do use a longer length of cording. Okay, if you're feeling a little bit unconfident about it, or it's your first time, please use whatever length of cord you have, or you feel, not that you have, that you feel easier with. Okay, I'm just going to do one more knot. Not making. Let's see if I can make this a bit. I'm feeling conscious that you're not seeing properly, so let me just see if I can make it a little bit more easy for you. So I'm taking it off there and seeing if this will be a little bit clearer. So on the board then, let's bring you in a little bit. It's exactly the same, and we're just using 2 cords. So I'm going to do one more knot. So over the centre cord, I know my strings are short, over the top, underneath, and pull through. Okay, a little bit tighter. Finish off this last knot over the top. I should have done longer cords for you guys. Over the top, underneath, under your centre cords, and pull. Right, because this again is the last knot, what we need to do is put a little bit of glue inside there. So here we go, the glue queen is at it again. Stop laughing, it's not funny. What did you do with my glue now? It's there, hiding. So a little bit more glue, or you can use nail varnish. Just a little bit more glue. That's worked better this time. Must have been having a flow problem. Whatever tool you're using, cocktail stick, little pokey tool like me, just getting in to that area where your loop is going to form. And just again in there. Getting it in there and then pulling up your loop, making sure that you don't get any glue, and if you do get any glue on your centre cords, then as it is drying, just give your cords a little pull. See, it's still moving perfectly well. There you are. And that'll ensure that they don't get trapped. Right, so last thing guys, is we need to put our pearls onto our strings, our last two pearls on our strings, and we need to get rid of these ends, don't we? Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of this tray and bring just the mat back. Here we go. I'm going to widen you out a little bit, so I bet you're sick of seeing my fingers and me covered in glue fingers. Be fun peeling it off then, won't it? Right, so what I'm going to do now is making sure that my main body of the cords is out of the way and I don't cut them off by accident. But I'm just going to trim off or trim down these ends from the clasp, get them out of the way, and then these, the main part of our bracelet, I'm just going to put some pearls on. You can put on whatever you like, but I'm going to put on pearls. So opening up the big eye needle, I've glued it shut with my fingers. Kill yourself laughing at me, aren't you? Oh dear. I can't open the darn thing. There it is. Hey, it's going to be one of those days. It's going to be one of those days. Hey. Okay. Putting that on. And we're just going to make a simple overhand knot. Just sounds simple. Come down lower and then take your knot further up. Another reason why having longer cords in the beginning is a good idea. Now we don't want that too short, we want that near the end. And we'll burn that down in a second. Take a bead down to make sure it won't go through, and it won't. Putting our big eye needle on the other end. Putting our pearl on. Again, just a simple overhand knot. It's because my fingers are all glued up. These things come to try us, don't they? Come to try us. Right, again, the knot just going near the end of our cord, string, whatever it is you are using, making sure it won't go through. Brilliant. And then we need a lighter. What do I do with my lighter? Hang on, I think it's on my other desk. It is. And I'm back. Right, we'll do these bits first. So, holding our cord quite away from us, using a naked flame. I know, shock horror. Take your cord or your flame, and that will put a nice end on it, and nothing's going to fall off there then. Taking the other side, I'll trim that down a wee bit. I think I need some new scissors. I need some glue and some glue and some scissors. There we are. That'll melt down. Just tapping it on the side, just flattens it off a little bit. Okay, so that's that bit finished. Now, I should have some other scissors somewhere. I know I have, because them are useless. Absolutely useless. They're alright for cutting other things, but not that cotton. So I know I've got some of the scissors somewhere. I've got my little embroidery scissors. They're better for cutting this. For this actual glue to set properly will take, you know, a good 12 hours, but I'm quite happy now to go in and trim this off, and then use my lighter, and again on this end. Righty ho. Right. So then when it's close like this, hold between your fingers. This is out the way. And a nice ball on. And around. Do with a bit more. Well, that's okay. And then on our centre bit, centre, keeping our fingers well away. We could probably go a bit shorter on that one. I'll have a look in a second. That one's okay, just a bit shorter on this one. That's it. And there we have our lovely bracelet all done and dusted. I do hope the pearly colour is showing up on the camera. I'll be absolutely mortified if it's not. Widen you out a little bit. And I'll bring my grey one and my pink one. So let's have a look at it on. So one size more or less fits all. If you do want to go bigger, then obviously just go a little bit bigger, add more beads. You put a longer beginning cord. I think it looks lovely, so I'll put them both together. Oh, it's so nice. Just pulling them down between your fingers. Lovely. I really enjoyed this. It's been lovely making these. I hope you found the video useful. I hope you go on to make lots. Excuse me. I do. I hope you go on to make lots. That'd look nice with another silver one here and wear them all three together. Or it'd look nice with different sizes. So these are 10mm beads. You could go down to say an 8 or a 6 on either side. That'd look really nice. There's lots you can do with macrame or macrame, however you want to pronounce it. I made this and it's all twisted loops, and it's just, that means you just keep on knotting one way, whereas with the bracelet we did left over right, then right over left, which gives you a full loop, a full knot, to beg your pardon, gives you a full knot, whereas to get this look you just keep on going one way, you just keep on going over left, over left, over left, or over right, over right, over right, whichever way you go. Yeah, so that's what I made. So yeah, I think it's making a comeback. I really sincerely hope that you enjoyed the video. Sorry about getting glue everywhere and gluing my fingers and all the rest of it, but that's live videos for you. I don't intend to cut it out because that spoils everybody's fun, doesn't it? And just goes to show that we can all make mistakes and it's easy done. So yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed today's little tutorial. I hope you enjoyed today's little ramblings. And I will see you on the next video. If you'd like to drop me a comment, it's always a pleasure to read your comments. If you'd like to subscribe to me, I'd be extremely appreciative of that. And if you'd like to give me a thumbs up, I really appreciate that too. So until then, next time, beaders, take care and very happy beading.